Welcome back to OT Sports. Today we got episode 3 of NBA Playoff Watch. I know it's a little early in the season to be talking about the playoffs, but that's what this show is called. We got loads of content over here at OT Sports. So make sure you subscribe, turn on the notification bell to make sure you don't miss out on any videos. College basketball every Monday night, college football every Tuesday nights, NFL every Wednesday night, and then NBA every Thursday night. So this is the prime time for content on the channel. So make sure you subscribe to make sure that you don't miss any content. We got loads of it. If you guys enjoy this video, make sure you leave a like. And my Discord and X are linked in the description. Make sure you follow that and join that. If you join the Discord, you could potentially be a returning person that I talk to and do these videos with. I would love to have more people on, and you guys could also just give me some ideas. But enough talking. I think it's time we just hop right into it. Hop right into this video. So first, looking at the standings, I'm gonna start at the bottom and then work my way to the top. Just kind of talk about how these teams have been playing. So the Pistons at 2-7. I haven't really expected too much. I didn't expect too much from the Pistons this year. I think I did have them finishing last in my preseason predictions. But Amen Thompson's been pretty good for them. Cade Cunningham, I've liked what I've seen from him. And Jalen Duren as well. He's been pretty good to start out the year. They got a lot of young guys over there. Jaden Ivey also. They got a lot of young guys. I'm interested to see how their future plays out. But right now, it's just not their year. They're not going out and trying to win a championship or anything. The Hornets sitting at 2-5 right now. I'd like to see some more out of LaMelo Ball. 19.6 points per game, 9 assists per game, 5 rebounds. I'd like to see a little bit more just because there's not too much people on that team. Brandon Miller's been pretty on and off. So yeah, but similar to the Pistons, they got a lot of young guys. But this team actually has a lot more veterans than the Pistons. But they're not going out and trying to compete for anything this season. The Wizards and the Jordan Poole experiment has not looked great. He doesn't look like a number one scoring option. So there is that for them. Kuzma's been pretty good. He's leading the team in points and rebounds. But yeah, no, this team just doesn't look very good. The Bulls sitting at 3-6, and this is sad to say, but I don't know if they make the plan. I mean, they just look horrible. If I'm being honest. Yeah, I mean, they almost beat the Suns yesterday in overtime, but they really haven't beaten a good team yet. I guess they beat they beat the Raptors and the Pacers, who are the Pacers are pretty good, but the Raptors are kind of okay. But I don't know, the Bulls just don't look very good. Levine and DeRozan still leading the way, but like I said, the offense just doesn't look great. Neither does the defense. They're kind of just a below average team, and I just don't know if I can see them making the play. And I think all the teams in front of them right now are better than them, unfortunately. The Cavs sitting at 3-5. They've been having some injuries to start the year. I'm not really too worried about them. I think once they get healthy, they'll turn it on. Donovan Mitchell has been very good, 30.7 points per game. I like what I've seen from Evan Mobley. He's obviously a great defender. And yeah, Karis LeVert actually has been doing pretty good this year. But yeah, I'm not really too worried about them with where they sit right now. The Heat at number 10. I'd like to see Jimmy Butler score more points. Tyler Hero has been very good to start the year. Same with Bam. But yeah, I know Jimmy Butler's kind of that playoff guy. But yeah, I'd like to see a little bit more from him. The Knicks, Julius Randle and R.J. Barrett have been struggling a little. I guess, well, not RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett's been pretty good, but Julius Randle has been struggling. I like what I've seen from Quickly, and Jalen Brunson has still been very good. Yeah, but RJ Barrett's actually been doing pretty good this year. I didn't mean to say he was struggling. I meant to just say for Julius Randle, because RJ Barrett's been pretty good. Same with, I like what I've seen from Quickly as well. He's been um, good for them to start the year. The Raptors, I keep seeing things with the Raptors, how like the fans were upset, but then they won, so they weren't upset anymore. I don't know. They been all right. I've really liked what I've seen from Scotty Barnes. He's looking like he's taking that third year step as I predicted, and Dennis Schroeder is actually helping out this offense a lot. Um, yeah, the Raptors could be a pretty solid team. I don't expect them to finish top six, but they could definitely be a playing team for sure. The Nets at 4-4, kind of similar to the Raptors. I don't expect them to be a playoff team, but they could definitely be a play-in team. Cam Thomas has been very good to start off the year. He's averaging 27 points per game, and same with Ben Simmons. He's not going to be there with the points, only averaging 6.5, but 10.8 rebounds and 6.7 assists. I think you can say that's pretty good for Ben Simmons. I'd like Mikal Bridges to get a little bit more involved on offense, but he's still been very good defensively. The Magic at 4-3. Franz Wagner and Paolo Banchero have been leading the way offensively for them, which is kind of what I expected. I expected Paolo to continue to develop, and yeah, it's looking like he's doing that. The Magic were my kind of sleeper team this year, and yeah, they're so far through 7 games they've played, they've looked pretty good. The Hawks have actually been very impressive to me. I've really liked what I've seen from DeJounte and Trae Young, and really the whole offense. The offense just looks amazing. The team is averaging 122 points per game. They got 8 people averaging more than 10 points per game. I mean, they look like a pretty good team. I'm very impressed with what I see from the Hawks. DeJounte Murray is leading the way in points with 22.6. Trae Young is averaging 21.7 with 10.4 assists also, and Clint Capella is averaging 10.7 points with 10.4 rebounds. So yeah, I've really liked what I've seen from the Hawks. They look like they could potentially be a top six team. I'm not gonna sit here and lock it in. We've only seen them through 7 games, but through 7 games, I would say they are a top five team in the East. Probably top four, maybe even top three. Just through 7 games, you're gonna call. I know what everyone's gonna say. I don't. This is not a prediction, but in my opinion, through the first 7 games, the Hawks have been a top three, at least from my point of view, or in my opinion. From what I've seen, the Hawks are a top three team. I think I'll tell you. I'll talk about this more when we get to the playoff prediction. But as of right now, they've looked like a top three team. I think the Sixers and Celtics have looked a little better, but I don't. I think the Hawks have looked better than the Pacers and the Bucks. I'll get to that a little more when we're about to talk about the Pacers. So yes, going over to the Pacers. Obi Toppin's looking like a pretty good addition for them. They're looking like a fun team. Tyrese Halliburton averaging 23 points and 12 assists. Miles Turner is the defensive guy, getting the boards, getting the blocks. Buddy Hield is their sharpshooter. They also got Benedict Mathurin developing. T.J. McConnell off the bench is kind of that reliable guy, which you like to see. Obi Toppin's kind of the highlight reel. I mean, they got everything on this team. The Pacers have built a very solid team. Like they kind of just all play really well with each other, and I think the Pacers have potential to finish as a top six team. I'm not going to sit here and say they will, just because it's only been 7, 8 games for all these teams, but they've played 8 games. They've looked very good. The Celtics as well. I was kind of expecting them to start slow, but no, they just all gel with each other right away. Jason Tatum has been great. Jaylen Brown has been all right. Porzingis has been great. Derek White, Drew Holiday. I mean, they are just loaded. Al Horford. I don't know why I said it like that. Al Horford. Um, yeah, their team is just stacked. They are a title contender, and they've looked like it. The Bucks, I know they're 5-2, but they've been squeaking by some wins. They're on a 3-game win streak right now. When you look at their wins, they beat the Pistons by 2 yesterday. They beat the Nets by 4 on Monday, and they beat the Knicks by 5 last Friday, so almost a week ago now. I mean, they really haven't looked good in their wins, and in their losses, they have looked pretty bad. They squeaked by the Sixers in the first game of the season. They squeaked by the Heat. I mean, their largest like point differential for a game in a win is 8. They have not beat a team by double digits yet, and Damian Lillard, I want him to shoot the ball a little more. He looks kind of afraid. He had a rough game the other night where he was like 2 for 12. Yeah, I feel like they're gonna get better. You got to give them a little time. But as of right now, I don't know. They haven't been very impressive to me. Giannis has been. I mean, I'm expecting Giannis to pick it up, but he's been a little slow. Same with Damian Lillard. They're just learning how to play with each other. It'll take a little bit of time. I do expect them to figure it out. And yeah, the Sixers with no James Harden, they have not skipped a beat, and I mean, they just look like a very good team. Joel Embiid, 32 points, 11 rebounds. Tyrese Maxey has really filled the shoes since with James Harden departing, and yeah, they look like a very good team. Um, yeah, very impressive, 6-1 at the top of the East right now. And yeah, with no James Harden, they've looked very good. I was expecting them to take a step down. They have not. They maybe even have taken a step up. As crazy as it is to say. Moving on to the Western Conference, we got the Grizzlies in last place at 1-7, and man, have they been disappointing to start of the year. Now I know with no John Morant, I was not expecting them to be at the top of the West like they are capable of with a fully um, with their full team. But I was not expecting them to be at the bottom of the conference either. Now, yeah, I mean 1-7. Desmond Bain has been their leading scorer. I kind of expected that, but they only have 3 guys averaging more than 10 points. The offense has looked slow. The defense has been okay, but I think they're without Steven Adams and Brandon Clark again. So the defense has struggled quite a bit without him. Um, it's cool to see Derrick Rose on the team. I guess there's something. I'm a big fan of Derrick Rose. Marcus Smart has been good defensively. Same with Jaren Jackson Jr., but with no Steven Adams and Brandon Clark, the paint is getting attacked. Now Jaren Jackson is doing his best, but you can't just have one guy. Yeah, once they get John Morant back, I'm expecting the offense to get to full. I mean, they're really beat up right now. Well, beat up and suspended. Once they get their full team back, they are for sure at least top 4 team in the West. I know the West is stacked, that's why I said top 4. But yeah, once John Morant comes back, they should. But this could hurt them in the long run because the West is just so tightly packed that losing all these games early could hurt them. The Jazz have been disappointing. Um, I didn't expect them to make the playoffs, but I was expecting them to be right there for the play-in. And yeah, 2-7 through the first 9 games. This isn't gonna cut it. The Trailblazers, kind of a weird team. Jeremy Grant is their leading scorer. I really like what I've seen from Shaedon Sharpe and Anthony Simons. Scoot Henderson's been iffy. I mean, when you look at the team on paper, they should be at least a playing team, but I don't think they complement each other very well. But I mean, Shaedon Sharpe and Simons have been very good. The Lakers, man, I think they're on quite a bit of a losing streak. They've lost 3 in a row. Um, yeah, they got destroyed by the Rockets yesterday. That was not a good look for them. Anthony Davis did get hurt. I'm hoping it's nothing serious because that could hurt them a lot. But yeah, LeBron James on the minute restriction now. Um, I don't know if they'll stay true to that going forward, especially with no Anthony Davis. But yeah, I was expecting this team to be a top six team, just because I really like the additions in the offseason. So they definitely have to pick it up. The Spurs, Victor Wembanyama has not been um, kind of slow to adapting to the NBA. Now he's just gone right in and dominated the league. He's leading the team in points, rebounds, steals, and blocks, and he's averaging. I mean, he's a 7'5" center. You don't expect him to make the assists. He's still averaging two a game. But yeah, he is very good, and in my opinion, he should be the front runner to win Rookie of the Year. I know people are going to say Chet Holmgren, but Victor Wembanyama, in my opinion, is the Rookie of the Year through 8 games. He's been very special. He has a very bright future in this league. The Clippers, adding in James Harden, he's been okay. This team is, I don't know how good this team will play with. I mean, they got kind of a small lineup. Got a lot of guys that have been injury prone in the past. So hopefully, if they stay healthy, they're a dangerous team just with the names on this team. But yeah, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard have been good. Russell Westbrook has actually been. Uh, I've liked what I've seen from him. 7 rebounds, 7 assists, 15 points. That's kind of the modern version of Westbrook. And if I'm any team, I'm happy with that production from a point guard. James Harden has been a little slow in his first 2 games with the team. I do expect him to pick that up. Bones Highland has been a good addition for them. Norman Powell's still good. Zubac's still that good guy in the middle. With the Kings at 3-4, I do expect them to start winning some games. De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis, man, that duo is just. De'Aaron Fox is the guy who will score the points, 31 points per game with 6 assists, and Sabonis 17 points per game, 13 rebounds, 6 assists as well. He is just, I mean, this team is a very good team. I know they're 3-4, but they, I'm still just, I mean, their point differential is only -4, so if I'm a Kings fan, I'm not too worried. Moving on to the Pelicans at 4-4. They've been kind of having some on and off games. Zion, C.J. McCollum, and Brandon Ingram all averaging 21. I hope C.J. McCollum's okay. I saw he got a collapsed lung, I think it was. But yeah, the injuries are already starting to hurt this team. It's unfortunate because when these guys are all playing together, they are a very scary team. But they got to stay healthy. With the Suns, Bradley Beal has been slow. I know he's only played 1 game. His first game was last night against the Bulls. He put up 13 points. I do expect them to adjust to him. They still did beat the Bulls, of course. But Durant and Booker both averaging almost 30. Um, Devin Booker is averaging 31.5, 7.5 rebounds, and 10.5 assists. He's been very good. He's only played 2 games. But in those 2 games he's played, he's been very good. And then Kevin Durant is still one of the best players in the league. The Rockets are 4-3. Good for them. I actually didn't know that until making this video because I haven't been paying too much attention to them. But they got 5 guys over the 10 points per game mark. The offense is looking all right. I think Dylan Brooks is leading the league in 3-point percentage or close to it. So I guess he's been a good shooter for them. Fred VanVleet. I mean, maybe this team makes play in. I don't think they'll make playoffs, but play-in is definitely possible for this team. They have enough names to do it. They have the coach to do it. So we'll kind of see with the Rockets. The Thunder at the fifth seed, 5-3. Shea still leading the team in points, but right behind him is Chet Holmgren. He has been one of the better players on this team through the first 8 games, and yeah, he's definitely gonna be in the Rookie of the Year conversation. I don't think he'll ultimately win it though. Jalen Williams has been pretty good too. Remember him from last year? He gave Paolo Banchero a run for his money for Rookie of the Year. And yeah, Lou Dort's still bringing the defense. Josh Giddey is kind of the playmaker. It's a very nicely built team, and their team built for the future, and they have a ton of picks, as always. The Warriors, I'm really liking what I've seen from the Chris Paul experiment. Curry still leading the team in points by far. I've liked what I've seen from Looney. I've liked what I've seen from really just the whole team. Kuminga's been good too. Yeah, this team is very good. Yeah, Chris Paul really just opens up the offense even more. The off-ball movement, yeah, it's just great, great team. Timberwolves, I've been very impressed with what I've seen from them. Anthony Edwards is taking that step that I projected him to. He's averaging 28 points per game. I don't want to overreact through the first. They've only played 7 games, but I don't want to overreact. But from what I've seen so far, they have really been proving me right. I think I had them at a 6 seed, if I'm not mistaken, in my preseason predictions. They could potentially surpass that with the way they've been playing. Karl Anthony Towns, Naz Reid has been very good too, and then Rudy Gobert, Mike Conley, Jaden McDaniels, all those guys. Kyle Anderson too. I mean, they got a lot of great players. I really like the way the team is built. The Mavericks, Luka Doncic, man, he is just something else. 31.5 points per game, 9 rebounds, 9 assists. Kyrie Irving has been good. Tim Hardaway, Grant Williams, all of them good. Derek Lively has actually been a very good rookie to start out his NBA career. I've liked what Derek Jones Jr. is bringing him off the bench, and I mean, yeah, they're looking like a good team this year. I did not expect them to be 6-2, but I'm very impressed with what I see from them. And then the Nuggets at 1. Being for the people who are doubting them for losing some guys on the bench, like Bruce Brown is a notable name. I mean, what were we thinking? They're 8-1. They're by far looking like the best team in the league. Jokic, 29 points, 13 rebounds, 8 assists as a center, with a steal and a block to go along with it. I mean, this team, Jamal Murray, I believe he is missing a month, which is unfortunate. But to be honest, I don't expect this team to fall off the face of the earth. I mean, it's the Nuggets. Jokic is good enough to win them games and do it himself. Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, Caldwell Pope. I mean, all of them they're still a very deep team. They are a very good team. But now let's move in to everyone's favorite favorite part of the video. I didn't have one of these last week just because I felt it was too early. But now I've got a good enough point of view on each team. And I just want to be clear by saying this. This is not like predictions. This is how the teams are playing right now and how the playoff. I mean, it technically is predictions, but how it's based off the seeding right now, how the teams are playing right now, and who I think would win if the playoffs started today. I made that clear? Okay. Western Conference playing time. We're gonna look at the bottom one, 7 versus 8. Suns versus Pelicans. I do think the Suns would win. I trust Kevin Durant and Devin Booker to win them. It's a 1-game series, and the Pelicans have been beat up. 9 versus 10. Kings and Clippers. Now the Clippers bringing in James Harden. I do expect the Clippers to I mean, this is off. This is off. If the game was played today, I think the Kings would win. I just trust them more. The Clippers bringing in James Harden. I like what I've seen from Westbrook, but as of today, I think the Clippers can be a great team once they learn how to play with each other. But as of today, I would take the Kings to win. Kings Pelicans. As of today, I would take the Kings. I just trust them more. The Pelicans are beat up. De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis have been great, and that whole team um, is looking pretty good. I I know they're like 3-4, 4-4, whatever they are. Um, they've still looked pretty good though. Now let's go over to the Eastern Conference plan. Again, looking at that bottom matchup first, 7 versus 8, Nets versus Raptors. I think the Raptors would win in a one-game format. I don't know. I just think they're the better team. And yeah, I've really liked what I've seen from Scotty Barnes. The team just looks a lot more more better without Fred VanVleet. They just look like a more open, kind of more open team. The defense is still there. The offense, I think, is getting there. Scotty Barnes is taking that step, which I've really liked to see. Now let's move on to the 9-10 Knicks versus Heat. Now I know I said this is off of who would win today, but let me emphasize this. This is if the playoffs started today, not just a regular season game. The playoffs. I've really been disappointed with Julius Randle, and if the playoffs started today, I mean we know how the Heat are in the playoffs. I gotta take the Heat, and for the same reason, I gotta go with the Heat. They're just a different team in the playoffs, and if the playoffs started today, I do expect Jimmy Butler to come out and perform. I know he's been struggling, but I do expect him to play very well if the playoffs were to start today. I mean, he's just a playoff performer. Same, the whole team. Spoelstra is a great head coach. I do expect him to win those games and get him back into the playoffs. Now let's go back to the West. Starting from the top now. We're just going to go top to bottom, back and forth. Nuggets and Kings. As much as I love the Kings team, the Nuggets would not lose this. The Nuggets have looked like the best team by far. I'll go Nuggets in 5. I think the Kings could get one game, but the Nuggets just have not skipped a beat from last season. Warriors, Thunder. This is an interesting one. Both teams looking very good on the offensive side of the ball. But I just trust the Warriors more come playoff time. The Thunder is still a young team. But I would love to see the series. These are two of my favorite teams besides the Bulls to watch. So this would be a very fun series. I would love to see this if we actually did get in the playoffs. But I've really liked what I've seen from the Chris Paul experiment. I'm going to go Warriors in 6. Timberwolves, Rockets. As the Rockets have been winning some games, but I do think the Timberwolves are just by far the better team. I like what Ime Udoka has done over there in Houston, but I'm gonna go Timberwolves in 4. I think they sweep them. I mean Anthony Edwards is just. I love him. He's a great player. I did expect him to insert himself in the top 10 discussion, top 10 player discussion by the end of the year, and so far he's been playing like a top 10 player. Mavericks, Suns, man, this one is very tough. Like, all right, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this again. This is off. If the playoffs started today, who I think has looked better as of right now, I think the Mavericks have looked better than the Suns. Now, if these were the seedings at the end of the year, I'd probably take the Suns. But Bradley Beal has not been with the team long enough. Now I know, and Devin Booker's been beat up also. KD has been great, but Luka has just been on another level, and I've liked what I've seen for the Mavericks. So I'm gonna go Mavericks in 7. Again, this is off if the playoffs started today. Moving on to the East. Sixers versus Heat, and I really had to think about this one because we know how good the Heat are in the playoffs, but the Sixers have just looked so good. I'm interested to see how they continue to play moving forward without James Harden. Tyrese Maxey has been very good without him. But I'm giving in to the Heat culture. I got to go with the Miami Heat. I just got to do it. I mean, they're a different team in the playoffs. I think they do it again. And yeah, I mean, Philly come playoff time, they just tend to fall apart. I'm going to go Heat. They are just a team that's built for the playoffs. And if the playoff, I know they have not looked the best so far through the season, but they never do in the regular season. And if the playoffs started today, the Heat, I think, would turn it on. I think they could beat the Sixers. I'm going to go Heat in 7. Moving on to that 4-5 matchup, a very intriguing one, Pacers and Hawks. Ultimately, what I think it comes, I mean, these are two teams built very well. Um, I think I trust the Hawks playmakers just a bit more than the Pacers. These teams both have great playmakers. I really like how they're both built. I think it would go 7, but I'm going to go Atlanta. Trae Young has been there before. I trust them to get it done in a playoff style format over the Pacers. Celtics Magic, as much as I've loved how the Magic have played, the Celtics have just looked like a different beast. I know they're at the 3 seed right now, but they've looked very good. I'm gonna go Celtics I'm gonna say the Magic can win one. Actually, yeah, I'll say the Magic can win one. I'll go Celtics in 5. Bucks Raptors. I've really liked what I've seen from Scotty Barnes, and I did think about doing this one, but I still am gonna go with the Bucks. I know I was hating on the Bucks earlier, and they really have not looked great. I think it would go 6. I think this would be a surprisingly close series if they played right now. But again, they're still 5-2. It's still the Bucks, and Giannis and Dame. If the playoffs were today, playoffs started today, I think Giannis and Dame would be able to turn it on, and those two are both incredible playoff performers. Moving back to the West, Nuggets Warriors, two teams that have made themselves known around the NBA through the past 8, 7, 6 seasons. This would be a very fun series, but like I said, the Nuggets have just looked like the best team, and I just can't pick against them. I'll go Nuggets in 6. I really do like how Chris Paul has opened up the offense even more for this team, but it's the Nuggets. I mean, come on. Timberwolves Mavericks. I'm gonna go with the Timberwolves in 6, just cause I just don't know if the Mavericks are built for the playoffs. They just the defense just doesn't look great, and I trust the Timberwolves defense a lot more. Luka's obviously a problem for the Timberwolves, but Anthony Edwards is not a bad defender. They have guys like Jaden McDaniels. Wait, did they get rid of him? He might have went to the Lakers actually. Now that I think about it, um, no, he's still on the Timberwolves. So they got guys like Jaden McDaniels. I think he could compete with Luka. He's 6'9". Um, Kyle Anderson is a great defender as well. I just think the matchups here for the Timberwolves and Anthony Edwards will be a problem for them to stop. Moving on to the East, we got the Heat and the Hawks. Um, we've seen this kind of thing happen with the Hawks before, where once they get out of the first round, they could make a run, and I think that's what they do here. I think they knock off the Heat. I don't know. They've just looked. The offense has really impressed me, and as much as the Heat's defense is always a problem, I think the offense for the Hawks can just light it up. I'm really impressed with the offense. I'm gonna go Hawks in 6. Moving down to that, and I mean we got two Titans, Celtics, Bucks in the second round. This was my Eastern Conference Finals prediction. I'm gonna go with the Celtics. The Bucks just have not looked good enough for me to take them here. I'm gonna go Celtics in 6. I mean the Bucks have a negative point differential. I know they're 5-2. I don't know. They just had not looked the greatest adjusting to their new team, and the Celtics have just looked a lot better. I mean, they both brought in a lot of new guys to make their teams even better, and the Celtics have just looked better at adjusting to that, so I gotta go with them. Nuggets, Timberwolves. The Timberwolves making it to the Western Conference Finals, And yeah, I mean, I'm a huge Anthony Edwards guy. I really like the Timberwolves this year, but it is the Nuggets. The Nuggets are 8-1. They've looked like the best team by far, in my opinion. I gotta go with them here. I'll go Nuggets in 5. I just don't know if the Timberwolves are ready to make it to the finals quite yet. They could definitely get there in the future, but in the near future, but I gotta go with the Nuggets as of right now. I'm gonna go Nuggets in 5. Hawks Celtics. I think this is similar to the Western Conference Finals. The Hawks have done this before, made it to the Eastern Conference Finals, but I don't think that they break through, at least as of right now. I know I've liked the offense, but offense can only get you so far. In the playoffs, defense is as important as ever. And the Celtics just probably have the best combination of offensive defense in the of offense and defense in the league. So I gotta go with them. They've looked like the best team in the East, in my opinion. And now this brings us to the finals: Nuggets Celtics. Um, I gotta go with the Nuggets. I have them repeating as of right now. They've just looked like the best team, and I don't know if it's even relatively close. They're 8-1, and yeah, I mean, I'm just so impressed how they've continued to just be dominant over and over again. I was one of the people. I wasn't gonna say that they were gonna fall off a cliff. I still had them finishing first in the West, but I did expect them to kind of struggle a little with their depth, and it just hasn't hurt them yet. And I just, I mean, it hasn't hurt them yet, so I really can't see it doing. I really can't see it hurting them. So I'm gonna go with the Nuggets as my champ. I'll go Nuggets in 7. I mean, yeah, they just look like the best team. Um, Plain and simple. So yeah, that's gonna do it for episode 3 of NBA Playoff Watch. I don't know how long this was. I think it was a little bit longer. It felt like it. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. If you're new, we got loads of content. College basketball every Monday, college football every Tuesday, NFL every Wednesday, and then of course NBA, which you're watching right now, every Thursday. So yeah, make sure you leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell to make sure that you don't miss out on future videos. As always, X and Discord linked in the description. You can follow that, join that, whatever you like to do. And yeah, see you guys Monday. We're talking about some more basketball, but this time college. I'll see you guys Monday for college basketball week 2, Power 40. We got a lot of interesting things to discuss on there. So I'll see you guys Monday with college basketball.